everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, a brand new season 12, episode 1. So I hope everyone is good. I hope that you guys have had a good few weeks. No, you didn't see me last Sunday because it was my day off, and we could talk about that in a bit. So how is everyone? What have you been up to in the last 2 weeks? Have you been enjoying summer? Have you had great summer weather where you're from? I'm really thirsty, so just let me have a sip of my drink. So I am coming to you from the raised beds. If I go up, you can see the top of the corn and stuff like that. And well, and on the, at the back, you can see that's that big, huge tree in the corner of the garden back by the kitchen. And then if I go down, you can see that, oh, there, I don't, can you see that this is the raised bed right here? So I just thought I would show you. I didn't grow very many things this season, but, and my tripod's so big that I can't get it any further back really than where I am. I could sit further back, but, so this is the courgette, one of the courgette plants, and then I have the corn. That's some of the only things I grew. But then I thought about it and I realized that yes, those are the only things I started this year, but I have like all along the edge of the raised bed here and there, the L-shaped one, I have strawberries. Well, I can't show you the strawberries, but these are the runners coming off of them because they hang over the raised bed. So I have strawberries all along there. I have raspberries there, raspberries there. These are golden raspberries. So I have like rhubarb, raspberries. I have a Saskatoon plant, but I haven't got a good crop from it yet because birds eat them before I get a chance. So I'm going to actually take some cuttings from it and make a few more bushes and grow some of them in the greenhouse or covered anyways. So yeah, there is things that I have growing in the garden. I have so many different kinds of mint. I have oregano or oregano, rosemary, thyme. Like those things for here are just perennials, so they grow every year. I have cherry trees. So some of those things that I forget that how many things I actually have without even having to start plants and stuff. Tom has one pepper on his pepper plant in the greenhouse. So, but anyways, I thought I would come from here, and I think there was a courgette, a zucchini growing. It's not, oh, there's a couple. It's not quite the size to pick it yet. I don't know if you can see it. I'm holding it here. It's got stripes. I can't remember what variety this is, but there's a couple here. So the leaves are big enough though. And remember, like I can see a bunch of male flowers. So I'll come back with actual clippers because it doesn't break very easily, but any male flowers, so they don't have the fruit coming off at the back here, you'll see a bulbous thing here, and that'll be the fruit. So if it looks like a bulb there, or if you're unsure, leave it. But if you know for sure that it's just a straight thing like that, this is a male flower. So you want to take these off because they are just taking energy away from the actual fruit that you want going to the fruit. The other thing you can do is wait till they open a little bit more than this one. And some people will fry them in batter or do different things. I've tried them. It seems like a lot of fuss for something that's not, I mean, it's all right, but it wasn't anything like that I felt like was a delicacy. So it's up to you if you want to try them or not. Let's see, where can we go? I have some things that I wanted to show you guys. So as I tell you guys all the time, I'm trying to wear different necklaces, and this is my brand new necklace that I ordered. So I am really bad at ordering things that they advertise on Facebook and stuff like that on the internet. But what I love about this one, and you got to choose a stone. It looks black, but I actually chose the blue stone. So it doesn't tell you what it is. And I'm pretty sure it's an artificial stone. But you can take this little bead and you bring it up like that. And then this cage opens up and you take the stone out. And you can put any stone that you own in there. So I could put rose quartz in there, or whatever I feel like I need at that time in my life, or if I just have, you know. So now let's see, I haven't taken it out yet. So now let me try and open this again to put this back in. So I thought this is really cool. You can get it in gold or silver, and I just love it. I love it. So that's what I'm wearing today. Yeah, so that's my necklace that I wanted to show you guys. And I also got something that I got last week, and Mom, don't shut it off. It has to do with death. Don't shut it off. As you guys know, I listen to a lot of different podcasts about death, like Death Positive, not just like, well, I do listen to a lot of crime podcasts too, so you can call me morbid if you want, but I listen to a lot of ones that are like Death Positive, so talking about death in a positive way, because, you know, we're going to have to face it and everything else. And thank you, Samantha says the necklace is beautiful. Thank you. So Death Positive, talking about it because it's going to happen to us sooner or later, and also people around us. So we're going to have to deal with those types of things. So I listen to different podcasts I listen to that I love are End of Life University. So she is a doctor, and she talks about a lot of different things at the end of life and what to expect, especially if you have to take care of loved ones at the end of their life and everything. She has different specialists on and everything else. That's one I love. Obituary is a fun one. They read different obituaries, but it's about like the B word. They read different funny obituaries or different things that have happened. They have one of their bits is called Dumbass Criminals, where they talk about people who are just, it makes me laugh, and I love them. So what other ones do I listen to? I don't know. I'll put the ones that I listen to in the comments, but it might have been End of Life podcasts. I can't remember which one. I have heard of these before, but this time when I heard it in an interview again, I thought I'd order them. Now, I don't know if it's because they're American and I'm in the UK, but they weren't as cheap as I wish they would have been. But it's called The Death Deck. And it is kind of like a game. And they said that like different situations might require different cards, but it's a way of, oh, my glasses are over here. It's a way of getting people to talk about these things, but in a fun way. So they said that you might, like, if you were playing in a nursing home or palliative care, you might use different cards than you would if you were just playing with your family who are younger and you know, are just starting to think about these things. Not that younger people can't go, but so I just opened it right now, so I am very excited to see what we have here. And I also thought this might make it easier to do my questions every week. So I know this is usually at the end of the podcast. You just got to bear with me when I call this a podcast. It's usually at the end of my live that I do a question, but, or like even this, do you believe in the death penalty? And it gives you 3 options. Yes, an eye for an eye. B, only in the most egregious cases. Or C, no, life in prison is enough for me. So it just gives you things to think about, find out what your family and friends think about these things and things that we, you know. I think writing my own obituary is A, helpful. Nobody knows me like I do. B, conceited. Let my loved ones decide what to say. C, morbid. Why would I do that? So Mom, these will be good for you because you already think that when I talk about these things, it's a bit woo-woo. So I am really excited about that. So let's just randomly choose one and see what, oh, there's different colors. These are all purple and then there's yellow. I wonder what the yellow ones are. Profound. Oh, okay. So the ones with purple on the bottom are questions with 3 multiple choice answers. And then the ones with yellow on the bottom are situations. So the question I just, which of these eco-friendly burial options would you consider for your remains? A, recomposition, which is body composting. B, aquamation, cremation by water. See, and these are things that people don't even realize are options now. You don't just need to be buried or cremated. C, green burial, biodegradable caskets, shrouds, containers, or urns, no embalming. Because I guess embalming is actually bad for the environment. I'm not sure. So, time well spent. You've just received a prognosis of 6 months to live, but feel pretty healthy. How do you spend your time? Now, that seems sad and morbid, but guess what? That's going to happen to somebody. It could even be somebody we know or ourselves. So, it's interesting to talk or think about these things, and it would be interesting to do it in a group setting. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna randomly choose a question, and this will be our question this week. Oh, Mom, did you cancel? I lost a few people. Oh, I just read that one. Let's see. Have I had this question yet? How often do you let how often do you let the ones you love know how you feel? A, very rarely. I'm not one to share my feelings. B, fairly often, in the right moments and on the right occasions. C, constantly, and they've asked me to stop. That's funny. So I'm gonna make, out of that, I'm gonna make our question this week. Is there anybody that you need to say something to? So remember, this is our death planning. So if you don't want to say it to them now while you're still alive, but you want it to be known after you pass away, you can write it in your book that we're working on. So is there anybody that you have something that you want to say to them after you pass or before, but you just can't either find the words or find the place to say it? So I want you to think about those messages that you would want to get out that nobody else is going to know because they're in your heads. And those are the things that I want you to, like, even just write an outline about, or why. Maybe there's a sibling that you have that you've had a fight with years ago, and you knew it was a stupid thing to fight about, but you guys haven't talked for years, and you wish that you would, and you just want to say you're sorry, but you are still too proud to do that, or whatever you want to get out. Maybe there's somebody who abused you, and you really want to tell them how much they ruined your life and all that stuff. So that's what it is. Not only, and then obviously just telling your loved ones that you love them and all those messages. So that'll be the question this week. All right, let's move on. Someone needs to tell Mom that she needs to tune back in now, because I'm done talking about that. I was so excited about that. I guess you guys weren't as excited. So we're in the garden. Speaking of gardening, what I've been doing the last few weeks. So, let's do the gardening talk first. This last week I've been digging out the pond. I still have a sprained ankle, but I can go up and down the stairs better. I can, I don't know if it's sprained or if I actually cracked the bone or what happened to it. I never went to the doctor for it. It's still, Steve did say if it was still swollen that I should go to the doctor, because I may have injured it more than I think I have. But I have been trying to take it easy, but I still do things on it. The worst times are in the morning. It's a bit stiff. And when I'm sleeping and I do like a stretch, like if I was to stretch my arms like this, but you do it with your legs, and I just do a nice stretch, it really hurts my ankle. So I can stretch this leg, but this one I kind of have to do like a half stretch, not to strain the ankle. But I have been able to do digging of the pond and everything else. Now the only thing I have left to do with the digging of the pond slash plunge pool slash fish pond, whatever, and yes, you can swim in the same pond as fish, even goldfish or koi. I just have to do the depth. I'm just digging, but it's like wet sand right now, so it's a bit heavy I have to do my pots of sand quite small, because I have to lift them out, and it's wet sand, so it's heavy. And then I gotta do like steps. So however deep I'm gonna go, right now I'm at 4 feet, so however deep I'm gonna go, I want to make steps to get out of that depth easily in the dirt, like the steps will be, and then I have to lay down the carpet, which is like the underlay, and then I put down a liner, which I'm going to use a tarpaulin. That's, in Canada we call them tarps. I guess the real word is tarpaulin, so they use the whole word here. I'm going to use the one that I have to put in as a liner to kind of measure and see how much of a liner I need to get the dimensions, because there is stuff that you can glue liners together, and so that they make like a waterproof seal, but I'd rather just use one big liner to do the whole thing. And yeah, but I need to do a measurement of that, because I wouldn't want it to be too small either way. You don't realize, like, it's not just to cover it, it's to go all the way down deep and then folds and up and folds, and then it's got to fit on every side. So it's, yeah. Okay, so but before that, we'll reverse to 2 weeks ago, last weekend, when I spent the whole weekend cleaning my house, and I wrote on my little live cartoon that I do when I said that it was my day off and that I would see you guys next week, which is now, I said that I was feeling a bit overwhelmed with life and that there was so much to do, but I just didn't know, what to do and where to start. Kind of know, but it just, I needed to like start journaling again and doing my to-do lists and everything else. Well, I cleaned the whole house. That felt good. Made me feel organized and everything else. Now digging the pond out, I've tracked a bit of dirt and sand back into the house, but for the most part the house is clean. Things have been good and I'm very excited about the pond. Have I done my to-do list and journaling yet? No, but I'm on top of things and I'm getting them done, and I have done some things that are on my to-do list even though I didn't write them down. Like, I have to make sure the kids are ready for school because it's already August 20th, so school is, soon. Allison needs to defer her university for a year because even though she's got into university, because she hasn't been here for over half her life or more than 20 years, she doesn't qualify for financing this year, but she will next year, so she has to defer her place in university, so she needs to do that like ASAP. And all those things that I am getting things done on my to-do list, but it's easier when I write them down and then I can check them off, and I feel way more organized. My head doesn't feel so scatterbrained, and I don't beat myself up as much because I feel more on top of things. So I told you guys last week, in whether you read it or not, in my little cartoon thing, I said that I would talk about it this week with that overwhelming feeling and not feeling on top of things. The problem is that when you kind of spiral in those situations, like, I'm not saying I'm the only one because it probably happens to most of us, is that the more things that you think you have to do and the more you think about it, the more depressed you get, the less you actually get done because you're feeling sorry for yourself and not doing anything. The best way to get through these things, and it's what I tell the kids too, the best way to get through things you don't want to do is to just do them. And that's the thing, is that you can feel sorry for yourself for so long, but then after that you just need to get off your butt and get things done. So that's why I started with cleaning the whole house and making my environment feel good. That way also, if I wanted to go outside, if there's nice days, it was also rainy last weekend, all weekend, so it was a perfect time to get the house done because I wouldn't have enjoyed being outside much anyways. But I also knew that when the sunny days came, that I wouldn't feel as guilty being outside in the garden if I knew that I had done the housework on the rainy days, as opposed to being out in the garden trying to do stuff out here but knowing that I was neglecting everything in the house. So also cooking and stuff like that I've been on top of, and I feel better about that because sometimes I get lazy with that too and don't plan or make very good meals. I mean, everybody still eats, but I like it better when I have things planned. So today I cooked chicken. Yesterday I barbecued and I made like mint lamb kebabs and stuff. What else did I make? No, I just made kebabs yesterday, beef kebabs and stuff. And I sliced carrots, onion, and potatoes and put them in tin foil with a little bit of olive spread, so like margarine or butter, and barbecued those. So there was some leftover lamb kebabs today, so I made wraps for Steve. And for the rest of the kids, I just cut up some chicken breasts that needed to be used. I cut them into small pieces and I light fried them in a frying pan, so you can make fajitas or you could make just chicken wraps or whatever. That's what I made for today. But I have been doing some, nice meals and everything else and being on top of that. So I'm, yes, sometimes even I'll come on my lives and it'll seem like I'm super happy and got everything together and everything like that, but you guys only see me for 1 hour on one day out of the whole week. There's many days where I'm feeling exhausted or down or unmotivated or whatever. The good thing is that even if I allow myself to have that feel sorry for myself time, or that I don't feel like doing anything today time, I know that on other days, hi Auntie Diane, Auntie Diane says, hi Lisa. On other days, I will force myself to do all those things, to do everything that needs to get done. So I allow myself those down days, but I am, so many times when we put ourselves down, we criticize how we are, and then if we big ourselves up, if we compliment ourselves, it seems like we're conceited or arrogant or whatever. Now, like I've said before, I mean, if you want me to bash myself, I can tell you everything I don't like about myself. But when I big myself up, it is not to act like I'm better than anybody else. But I think we need to have a good positive image of ourselves. So I will tell you that I'm not going to say that I don't work hard or that I'm lazy, or sometimes I'll say those things in passing, but really that's bullshit, because even if I'm having down days, fine, but on the days that I'm not down, I work my ass off from the time I get up till I go to bed. I do so much, and I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else or on top of everything. Like I said, there's many days that I'm not, but I try. I really try. I try to, you know, do all the things that will make me happy, will make my family happy, and I try to do the balancing of all the different things, and I'm proud of myself for how much I do. And I love too for our kids that both me and Steve, working our butts off in different ways, but still, like I've said before, with his broken neck and broken back, he could actually just live off of like benefits and not go to work, but he doesn't claim any benefit. He has had a broken neck since he was 18, and he's going to be 60 in January, and he has never claimed benefits for his injuries or anything like that. He works his butt off, and I love that our kids can, you know, you can tell your kids what to do and what they should do and everything else, but it's better to be the example. And I get that not everyone is going to be like me and Steve, but I love that whether our kids decide to be hard workers or not, they have the example of seeing me and Steve not only work at what needs to be done, like taking care of the kids, feeding them, and that kind of stuff, but also doing the things that make us love our own lives. So him watching football or going to football games, me gardening and making the house clean and inviting, or when we do Christmases or have family over that I, you know, decorate or make the table set up really nice and do all these things. So it's a good balance of giving to others to have them have a happy life, but also making sure that we do the things that we enjoy in life too. So if something happened to us tomorrow, sorry mom, not trying to get back on the death talk, but if something happened to us tomorrow, did we spend our days balanced with doing things that we enjoy and love as well? And I would have to say I do. I like to think I do both. I think that lots of things that make me happy also in turn will benefit the family, because I like a clean and organized house. The family benefits from that. But I might be doing it selfishly because that's what I like, but the family benefits from it. I love gardening. I love making the garden the way it is, even trying to grow fruits and vegetables, and I'll get better at that. And even though it's for me, and I would do it if I was an old lady who lived alone, the family benefits from it, whether it's just showing off the garden, taking photos of the garden, being in the garden, just connecting to nature, or when I get more fruits and vegetables, you know, benefiting from that. So, yeah. I don't remember. Oh, this was just talking about the fact that I was feeling overwhelmed and everything else. And like I said, I haven't got back to the journaling and the my to-do list, and then also working out daily. I haven't, besides the fact that I've been working on digging the pond. And gardening in the summertime, especially when you have a garden like this, is a lot of physical work, but it's not the same as doing my workouts. So I want to get back to all those things. I liked who I was when I was on top of those things, and no one is going to do these things for me except for me. So you guys will obviously, because you see me every week, or whenever you tune in every few weeks, if that's the thing, you guys will see that I will try and get on top of these things. But it's the same thing, like if I'm going to do things like my lives, which I've done for a couple of years now, so we're going to continue doing those. I don't want to be one of those people who make it look like everything is great. I mean, we do have great kids. We are very healthy. We do have a beautiful home. We do have a beautiful garden. We do make a nice income. We are comfortable. So yes, we do have a lot of those things, but nobody's life is perfect, and so I don't want it to just be all shiny and perfect when I do these lives. I want to be real. So whatever we're going through that week, like I'm frustrated. I've told Steve that right now parenting like older teenagers and young adults is probably the hardest I found parenting to be at all, because they're adults or almost adults, and they need to make those decisions that what they want in life, you know, who they're going to date, all those things they got to make for themselves. You can give them advice, you can tell them what you think they should do, but they're going to make those decisions for themselves, and you got to hope that you did, you know, good parenting. But it's so frustrating to see them not have motivation, or like if they just don't seem to have any, well, it's motivation or like any drive, any, like they don't even like being outside. They don't seem to care to do much, and it breaks my heart because I can't live their life for them, and I can't push them, and you don't want to push them because you don't want them to do the opposite of you because you're trying to push them, but it's so hard to, I don't know, I'm just, yeah, so parenting, as much as our kids are great, I mean, I can tell you that Thomas took the dog training course, which is what he wants to do. Aurora is going back to her second year of bakery and patisserie. Allison, like I said, she's got to defer her university, but at least she's going, even though it's next year. She's going for graphic design, which is what she went to college for. And Owen's, he does media studies, but he works for his dad at the same time. And Amy's doing great as a solicitor, but like, and then who am I missing? Erica is just finishing her high school, so she's got her last year coming up. She'll be starting her last year, which is year 11, like in a few weeks. But what you don't hear is how one or more of the children don't give a shit when they smell like BO. So, and they're girls, and I'm not saying, you know, equal rights, so, you know, girls are just as, you know, but I just haven't known girls to smell as bad as boys in my life. But it's the fact that they don't care. I'm like, that's not fair to people that you're around, because if you don't care that you smell, that's one thing, but other people, that's, you know, it's like someone smoking next to you. It's interfering with their nose, and that's just rude and not fair, especially if you want to have friends over or stuff, or, you know, if you wanted to date someone and kiss them and you smell like BO, like, it's just not acceptable. But that's what I mean, like, there's these challenges that we don't talk about when we look like everything's shiny. So, like I said, Aurora's going to her second year of bakery and patisserie. What we don't talk about is the fact that last year, when she was in her first year, she was, we would have calls from, okay, it's also college, so they don't necessarily baby the kids like they did in high school and stuff like that, because college and university, you're expected to do your stuff yourself. And yet we would have calls from her instructor, because she was one of the best, well, the best one in her class, and she was so good at what she did, and her instructor knew that she had so much potential, and yet she would skip classes, and sometimes she wouldn't care. And it was like a fight to get her to go to her classes sometimes. So yeah, those are the things that I love her, and she's great, and she finished, and she's got great marks in it because she was good at it, and she did all her assignments, she caught up and everything else. But it's the fact that I love doing these things. I love being an inspiration for other people. I am a very positive person, and that's because of my depression, because I've had to work on myself so hard. And I do genuinely, the person you see on here is me. I am not faking who I am or pretending that I am this positive and content with my life, because I really am. But I also want to be real with people. I don't want to be one of those people that are on the internet influencing people and making it seem like you can have it all and everything's great. And, you know, because yet you can have it all, but that's dependent on so many things, like not just luck, but your environment, your situation, your where you live in the world, how your support system around you, whether it's friends or family. Like, it depends on so many different things. So yeah, all we can do is take whatever situation we're in, because I've said this before too. Like I said, I have everything in a great place right now, but even when I had no money, was trying to raise kids by myself, or even with my ex-husband, but he didn't want to work. So that's one of the reasons we had no money. You know, and we lived in a mobile home, which is what they call a caravan here, but, you know, it had black mold, and it was like, yeah, so no money, so not a lot of food, everything else. But what did I do? I just made sure it was painted and looked nice. I had photos up of happy times. I played with kids and made the best of it. So it doesn't matter. My life wasn't always this good financially and with the support of a partner and everything else. But I don't regret any days of that life, because I made the most of it. I enjoyed the days with the kids. I enjoyed the home that I lived in. I painted over the black mold because I couldn't afford to fix it. I, you know, put a board and then a area carpet over the hole in the floor by the tub in the bathroom. And I made things look good and feel good. And I made the best of whatever situation I was in. So that's what it's about. It's about taking wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and making the best of it. And that's what I hope to help inspire people to do. And like I said, this positive Lisa who you see now, and people who have known me my whole life will attest to it. Yes, I may have, like looking back, I can see where maybe I did have a confidence about me and something different than the next person. But at the same time, I had to work really hard to become this happy person that I am. I think what it is not just a confidence. I guess I always liked me. So that was the difference, is that for the most part, I always liked me. And so that, I guess that gave me confidence. Having good parents who loved themselves as well, you know, seeing that there was issues in life. Like I said, everybody has issues, but they never criticize themselves. They never said, I'm not enough. So, you know, when you have people around you that you see that they're doing their best, they're trying their best, and they're trying to do their best for others, then I guess that, you know, that helped me as well. But I was like, like I said, I suffered from depression. I was very emotionally out of control because we didn't know I suffered from depression while I was a teenager. So I would scream at the top of my lungs or cry my eyes out or be really mean to people and all these different things. So I wasn't always this, but my weird self was always there too. So there was things about me that people admired, but there's also things about me that people couldn't handle because I am a lot in this Lisa package. I still am a lot. Even if I'm a positive a lot, I still am not everybody's cup of tea. But I like who I am, and I think that's important too. So I love doing these lives if I can inspire people to just not be like me. Excuse my big finger. I'm just checking what time we're at. Not be like me, but be the best them that they can be. So you be the best you that you can be. Because when we are the best us that we can be, when we're the most genuine and we embrace who we are and our differences and what we have to offer the world, then the world will love us more, because that's what we're here for, is to give what we have to the world. We don't want to try and be like other people. You don't want to look like the next person or have what the next person has, or everybody's given their own set of circumstances, and it doesn't mean you don't try to improve yourself or your situations or your circumstances, but you, like I've told the girls too when they wanted to dye their hair. If they wanted to dye their hair to, it's like me wearing different outfits for my lives and everything else. I could wear the same outfit every time, have the same background, and make it like really uniform. What fun is that? Does it mean that I like one background or one outfit better than another one? No, I'm playing. Do I like me in my what's it called? Birthday suit? My natural outfit? Yes, I like that too. But I always told the girls, like, if they want to dye their hair or wear lots of makeup or do these different things, so I use the dyeing hair as the example. If you want to dye your hair because you just want to change and you want to play and you want to, you know, just have an experience, that's fine. But if you want to dye your hair because you don't like the hair that you've been given, the color that you've been given, because you don't like who you are, then you're dyeing your hair for the wrong reason, and you need to work on that. It's important to accept what we've been given and know that we're all, whether you're religious or not. I mean, in religion, especially in the Catholic religion, they'll teach you that. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought, but it was something about being individual and that we all have gifts and stuff. But it's the same thing in lots of beliefs. So we're all individuals. We all are here for a reason, and we're all different for a reason. There's things that I can give to the world that nobody else in the billions of people can give the world. But that means that the next person to me has things that they can give the world. You think about like somebody like Elvis or Madonna or even Jesus or the Dalai Lama. There's only one of them. But guess what? You know that guy that runs the corner shop that you go to once in a while to grab things, and he makes you laugh every time you're in there? Or the guy who in the subway when you're taking the train plays the guitar and his voice is just angelic, but he's just in the subway instead of being on a huge stage in front of millions of people, but he makes you smile when you're there. Those people are just as important as the ones that everybody knows. So I remember thinking that too. We're in the society where like, we have this false like thing that we need to be the best of the best out of anybody. So if you like if you play an instrument and you want to be a musician or you want to be in a band, then you need to play that instrument better than anybody else, and you need to be in the best band ever, and you need to have so many fans, and that will give you your worth. That will tell you that you're successful and that you're great. But why can't it be enough if you just play guitar for your church service on Sunday or in the local cafe on open night when they have, you know? Why is it not enough that you sing in the choir or you just sing your heart out in your living room for yourself? Why do we make ourselves think that we have to be the best of the best? We don't. We can be our best selves, but that's enough. Some of the songs that I listen to are by huge artists that everybody knows. And some of the songs that move me the most are by people that I know that I wonder why they're not more popular, but not everyone in the world's going to hear them. But that doesn't mean that those songs aren't some of my favorite and they move me every time I hear them. So we really need to embrace who we are and ask ourselves, what do we have that's different than everybody else? What do we have to offer the world? And the truth is that if you really look at yourself and you think about the things that you love the most, what do you love to do? When you don't have to work at your job or whatever, like what do you love to do? What makes you happy? And usually if you look at the things that really inspire you or really bring you joy, those are the things that you should be giving to the world. Yes, we all have to work. So, well, maybe not all of us. I mean, outside of the home, but if you are a caring, loving person and you have so much to give others and you love taking care of people, then why not go into nursing or go into some kind of care? Even group homes, they like lots of different group homes with people with disabilities or older people, or like I'm sure they're looking for people all the time. I know people who've worked in group homes where even the overnight shift, it's just to have somebody there. So there's or even visiting in hospice. If you don't have to work for money, then you can visit in hospice and different things like that. Like if you are really good with your hands and you love working and building things and everything else, then you could go to school or do carpentry or a laborer. You don't even have to, like, just find something that is, there might be if you need it for work, then you can even be a laborer. There's jobs that you can do without training where they'll train you on the job. But if you don't need to make money, then join a group like a woodworking. There's these things that I think is so cool where I haven't looked into them, but I think it's really cool if I was to want to do those things where it's like a community center type thing. It's like a group thing where they have like all the woodworking tools and all the tools. And I don't know how it works if you pay a membership or if you have to sign in like your time or whatever, but you work in this little workshop where all the tools are there, but you have access to all of them, but you don't have to own all of them. So you can still do what you love with woodworking and everything else, but it's a shared environment where different people get to use these tools. So like I said, you have to look into it more, but I've seen it on TV a few times where I think that's brilliant, because sometimes when you have a hobby and something you love doing, to actually buy all the equipment or do all the things is like really, really expensive and frustrating when you can't do that. I know to you guys right now, it seems this is totally like different train of thought. I know to you guys, it looks like it's still light out and you can even see blue sky there, but I cannot, it's like it's getting super dark here. So it's so weird that it's like I'm losing light, but that's what this great big light is good for. Let's see what the difference is. If I turn it all the way up, that is crazy. That is brighter than daylight. I wonder if they make these as a sad lamp so that I'm getting my UV rays and my happiness while I'm doing these. And then if I shut it off, no, it still doesn't look dark, but it is darker than it looks. So my camera's just good at picking up light. Oh, I'm on it. Okay, so like there. So You know, I am good at rambling. That's what I do. That's why it's called the Rambling Hour. We have 20 minutes still to ramble. So I was thinking, like, when I listen to podcasts and stuff, they have like people who listen to their podcasts and love what they do and talk about and all that stuff, and they have like different names for them. And but I was wondering, like, what would people who watch my lives often and everything, what would I call them, or what would they be called? And I guess because it's called the Rambling Hour, that you would be my ramblers. So yeah, I was thinking what would I call people, like, yeah, so my ramblers, my loyal loved ones who tune in often and enjoy hearing me ramble on. And I appreciate that. That is why I keep doing these, because like I've said before, not everything is roses and peaches. And sometimes I think, why am I even doing these? Doesn't matter. And then I'll get a comment from friend or family or whatever, and they tell me how much these actually mean to them, or they think it's cool that I do these, or, you know, whatever. It's just something to make me feel good about myself. Oh, actually, God, see, this is the rambling part. My brain just goes all over the place. I was just looking at the blue flowers on this. So I grew up calling it borscht, but borscht, not borscht, borscht, or, but how do they actually say it? Borage. But anyways, it's B-O-R-A-G-E, and it gets these really pretty blue flowers. So because I've grown it in the past, it kind of seeds itself. So I didn't plant these this year, but we grew it when I was growing up too, and the leaves are furry. The whole plant is kind of furry, and the leaves are furry. Not too much of a smell, but they taste like cucumber. You can eat the flowers too, and you can add the flowers to salads or different things because they look pretty, and it's hard to find blue flowers, so I'm very much in love with anything blue. But this borscht is growing like right here, popping out. There's also a pot with these twister echinaceas right here. They're really pretty. And they've come back for a few years, and this is the first year that the pink has come in, and they're looking really, really, really pretty. So let's hope that, especially seeing I lost so many things last year, let's hope that these keep coming back every year. They're called green twister echinacea. I don't want that. It tastes good, but I'd rather have it in a salad or something. So this week, like I said, I'm almost done the pond. I have the depth of it and the steps to do, so hopefully I can get that done. What else is happening this week? We really got to get things going for school. I mean, it's not like huge things, but because it's a continuation of last year, like it's not like anybody's changing schools. But I do need to buy some new white shirts for Erica, because you always like to look fresh on your first few days. And Aurora already has her whites. Actually, that's a point. If she brought her whites home from college, then I need to get them laundered and made sure that they're ready to go for college as well. So those are the things I'll be working on this week, as well as trying to get the pond finished and the carpet laid down in it and stuff. And I won't get the liner this week probably, but I will try and do the measurements for the liner. I'll take pictures once I put the carpet down. When I take pictures of the pond that I'm digging, it's hard to like see the levels and the depth and everything from the photos. So once I put the carpet down, hopefully that'll be more apparent, the depth of it and the shape of it and everything else. But the last 2 days, yesterday morning I did work on the pond a little bit, but then I stopped because Sasha was outside with me and she wanted to play, and I knew that there was, so because I've been working on the pond, I've been kind of neglecting all my plants, and that's not good. So I had to water things. So yesterday I watered most of the back, and then today I watered, and then started in the front, and then today I watered, finished the front watering, and then the only thing I have to water now is around the raised beds, any pots like this and stuff like that, and I did half of them today, but I have another half of them to do tomorrow, and then over what I call the nursery with all the, like, the table I have with the little cuttings and everything else. I got to make sure those are all watered and everything else. So that is what I'll be doing tomorrow, but then I can work on the pond again. The last few days we've had like nicer weather, in the 20s and stuff like that. Even when I was working on the pond, it's kind of shady there. So it's nice to be in that shade. Today I walked around in the pond, just waiting in it. Not the one I'm digging out, but the pool, the above ground pool that we have out in the front. I waited in it while I was watering the plants around it, the pots and stuff like that. So that was nice. I would love to be in the pool more in the front, but during the week I watch the puppy, and the puppy has to be in the back garden, and so I can't be in the front garden. Can't think of anything else, but yeah, mostly I'll just be trying to get things ready for school and ready for the pond and enjoying the rest of summer. Hopefully we have nice weather again this week, because as far as I won't complain about most summers that I've had in England, even though they can be rainy or they can be a bit not as hot as on the prairies in Canada. We have had quite a few good summers since I've moved here, but this summer particularly has been, I love the rain because we need it. We need a good balance, and it keeps my plants watered, and my rain buckets, what do you call them? My brain's not working. The barrels, like rain barrels, there's another name for them. Them full, and I can use that water to water plants and everything else. It makes it a lot easier when we have a good balance of rain. But I would have liked some hotter weather. So everywhere else in the world seemed to have we have to enjoy what we have. Everywhere else in the world has had these huge, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, why isn't my brain working? It's been like a heat, really hot, a heat. You know what I mean? All over the world, there's been like really high heat, except here. But speaking of which, oh my God, let us pray for everybody in Hawaii who has been affected by the fires. And I still can't believe how many wildfires are going around North America, including near some of my loved ones, friends and family in BC, around Okanagan Lake. It's Okanagan Resort, like the hotel and stuff, has burnt, and people's houses there have been burnt. And I did stay somewhere on the lake, like a hotel on the lake before, and I don't know, I haven't looked up if it was that one that I stayed at that's burnt. But a hotel can be rebuilt. It's still sad if it's older and has like heritage value, but all those people's homes and any lives lost, like all the lives that are lost in Hawaii and stuff, is just, and how quickly it happened within 2 days, like the destruction and everything else. And obviously right now we're talking about wildfires, but I have not forgot, and I bet a lot of you have not forgot, that not only Ukraine is still fighting with Russia, but there's different wars and things going on all over the world still, and then different natural disasters that happen and stuff. So let us, if you can't do anything else, you can send positive energy to those places or people. And you don't have to do it all. You're not everyone's savior. You don't have to send every person in the world who's going through something positive energy. But if you can just, the least you can do is just think positive energy directed towards those people, whether you call it prayer or whether you are scientific and look up how energy moves. Whatever you do, just send positive vibes to those people. And if you can do more, then do more. But do not take for granted what you have and where we are, because whether it's a natural disaster, whether it's a man-made disaster, whether it's an accident or anything could happen to any of us at any time. I even have friends in my life who have had their house burned down or different things. So you don't know what's going to happen to us at any time, and we cannot take for granted. You can be like, oh, I'm glad I don't live there because that's where they get wildfires and it won't happen here. But maybe flooding will happen where you are, or tornadoes, or who knows. It could be, even the, whatever it is that I still can't think of with the high heats and everything else. There is lots of people who suffered from that. And when you have lots of drought and high heat, then not only are people losing their lives from that, but you can't grow proper crops. It affects everything. So let us be grateful for what we have and send positive energy to people who have less than us. Man, I feel like I'm rambling a lot, but time's going by a little bit slow. And I guess it's also because, like, even though there is people watching this, whether now or later, the people now aren't interacting a lot, so I have to just keep going with my thoughts, which I can do because my brain never stops. Right now, because it is getting dark, it's so weird that you guys can't see how actually dark it is, but I'm not going to be able to do anything else in the garden tonight. So when I'm done this, like I said, I made chicken for dinner. Actually, I have some pasta. It's like gnocchi pasta, and it's got tomato sauce, and I made it on Friday, so Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it should still be okay. It's just mushrooms and gnocchi, which is like potato pasta, and tomato sauce. So it should be okay to still eat it today. I don't want to make myself sick, but I think I'll eat that. And actually, it has no meat in it, so I could throw some of that chicken in it. So that's, see, this is how my brain never stops, but I don't need to have all my thoughts out loud, do I? So I'm going to eat and watch Gardener's World and catch up on some of those things. That's what I'm going to do, and maybe finish my posts online. It's weird to me that, I mean, I don't expect all my friends and family to follow my gardening page now on Instagram or on Facebook, but I also think it's kind of weird that out of 107 friends, and many of them I follow their pages, even if it's something that I don't need or do or live near to do. I just think it's kind of weird that my gardening page on Facebook only has like 13 likes or 13 followers or whatever. It's kind of like I said, I know not everyone's going to love my gardening stuff and everything, but it kind of makes me sad that that's the support I got. And I don't want to like post about it every day and expect everyone to like it and everything else. I just want them to feel, you know, and maybe lots of people don't even know about it. I don't know. But if you don't know and you're watching this, I have a separate gardening Facebook page called Pepper Tooth's Patch, and on Instagram it is at pepper_teeth, TEETH instead of pepper tooth. Yeah, so at pepper teeth, at pepper_teeth on Instagram. But you can also search Pepper Tooth's Patch, and I'm sure it'll come up, or look at my regular Instagram and it'll have a link at the top. There's like, yeah, I think it's there somewhere. So if you're interested in my gardening, look at that, and I will eventually, although it takes work to, I'm in the garden every day as much as I can be, and I'm always doing things, but to actually film myself and then put it into little reels and stuff like that, it's more work than you want it to be. So as much as I want to share my gardening stuff and everything else, then it just takes a bit of work. So I have done, like, I did videos of me sorting my compost, but I haven't put them together to make them shorter, faster, and made into a little reel so I can add it to Instagram and stuff. But I will do those things. Also, whether you're listening to this, I don't think you can do it if you're watching this live, but if you're watching this at a later time, or any of my other rambling hours, or anybody else's videos on Facebook, I realize now that there is the option to listen to this in different speeds. So you can actually, I usually talk quite quick anyways, so it might not be necessary for me, but like, I listen to my podcast in double time. Steve doesn't understand how I can understand it. He also thinks that I can't get comedians' jokes because they have certain timing on their jokes, but to me, in my head, it sounds, they don't sound like chipmunks, they sound normal. It's weird to listen to them after, when like in his car, for listening to the same podcast, and I hear the jingle or the people talking and they seem really slow. But I say, you can speed read. I can't speed read, but I can speed listen. So if I'm listening to it on headphones and I have it in double speed and they're talking, I can take it in quite easily and everything else. But if I have it on speaker and it's in double speed and then anything else is going on, then it seems a little too fast, and it's not sinking in. But in my earbuds, in my headphones, if I'm listening to it on double speed, I can absolutely take in all the information, and I can laugh at the jokes if they're funny. That's the other thing, is like, there was one of the podcasts I listened to, they asked the question to their guests, what makes you belly laugh? What makes you really belly laugh? And I don't have an answer for that. I have a friend, Osiyuki, who I rarely talk to because she's not on social media and she's in Canada and everything else. She makes me belly laugh. When we are together, when we talk, we laugh so much. But I think lots of things are funny, even when I'm watching comedies and everything else, but I don't laugh out loud as much as I wish I could, and I wish I got the giggles more and stuff like that. But like, even if I am watching something and I find it funny, I might go like, oh, we went to the Barbie movie. I think I already told you guys that, but I found it funny. But I'm always that one where I find something funny and instead of like laughing out loud, or no one else is laughing in the theater, but I'm like, I just make these stupid noises. But I wish that I would like laugh more, and you know, like that joy in your soul laugh, and where you just can't get enough of laughing. Me and Steve make each other laugh, but I wish I could laugh more. It doesn't mean I'm not joyful or think something's funny. It just doesn't come out of me the same. It's more, it's like laugh. So Steve will say that, he's like, don't you think that's funny? I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. But my brain's laughing, but my body's not. Anyways, what makes you belly laugh? You can tell me that as well. That reminded me that, okay, so we're caught up on Young Sheldon. What else have we watched? We watched a movie last night. And it was good. I enjoyed it. It was, hang on. Oh, it was called Ghosted. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it was still good. It was entertaining. So we enjoyed that. We started watching the series Succession, which we've heard is good. So we're only a couple episodes in, and I can't remember what series we were watching before that, but we finished that one anyway. So yeah, Succession, that's what we're watching now. I know Billions is on again, and we do love Billions, but we like to, it's hard with like a show where it like you enjoy it or it has good cliffhangers, because then you want the next episode right away, even if you have to go to sleep that night, but you know you can watch the next episode tomorrow. So yes, we have this binge culture where it's like we want it all now. So we like to save up like a few episodes, and so I don't want to watch Billions right now because I want it to be where we can watch more than one at a time. Anyways, I'm going to go watch some Gardener's World and do my posts. And probably because Steve's at cards with his mates, as per usual on a Sunday, I will just hit the hay and go to sleep early so that tomorrow is a new day. Kids are still out of school, so I don't have to get up with them. I can just get up, make Steve breakfast, make him a lunch to take to work, send him off to work, and then get back in the garden. So I love you guys. I will see you next week. I may have a guest next week, but this week I just wanted to talk to you guys about those things that I said about me just feeling overwhelmed and wanting to, you know, I love having guests. I do, but I wonder what the balance is between you wanting to hear me ramble and me introducing you to people. The people I have as guests, I wouldn't have anybody that I don't love, or a good reason to have them as my guests. So they are people I want you guys to be introduced to and everything else. But at the same time, I need a good balance of you guys. If you're tuning in to watch this because you love and appreciate who I am, then I want to give you me in my truest form of rambling. And also those special things too, because I love the introducing you guys to other great people who you are, some of those great people, even if you aren't one that wants to be my guest because you're not comfortable with it. It doesn't mean you're any less great than they are. So anyways, like I said, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, whether it's live right now or at a later time. We will see you next week. Same time, same place, which is Facebook, but it might be a different background. Who knows if we'll be in the garden or what. And so hang on, let me do okay, so today's the 27th of August. So we'll still be in August next Sunday. So we'll see what the days bring. All right. I love you guys, and have a great night and a even better week. And we'll see you next week. Bye.